There's multiple shapes and sizes. You just decide that a real fat guy is just a bear and it's hitting an animal.
No, it's not gonna hit a bear.
Well, yeah, I know that. It will determine the
Launch speed.
Stop! I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put my words together. You're rushing me.
Am I helping?
No, not at all. No one else can see my hands.
Welcome to Launch Speed. Welcome back to Launch Speed, the podcast where we give you some news and some stuff about bears for some reason. I'm Brendan.
I'm Zach.
And
You're
let's
still
get
Brendan.
into it. Yeah, I'm still Brendan.
Yeah. Do we actually have any bear things?
We do. Yeah, I have a bear thing that. Thank you, Chris, for linking it to me. But I just want to, apologize for a bit of a 2-week gap.
And there'll be another one.
And there'll be another one next week.
Well, not 2 weeks.
Just 1 week.
Yeah.
But it's like we can only record on the weekends.
Yeah.
Just because of living and schedules and stuff. And so if we don't get to it on the weekend, it's just not going to happen that week.
Yeah. I've been pretty busy the last couple weeks.
I have as well.
Yeah.
I mean, not as busy as you, but I've been pretty busy still.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a while now, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking about being busy though, this fence is going fantastic.
Hold on. We're doing our bear bits first though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So thank you to Chris for this. Have you heard about Fat Bear Week?
I have not.
It's a competition where the internet votes on the fattest bear of Alaska's Katmai National Park and Preserve. It's just because bears are getting ready to hibernate.
Yeah.
They've like chunked up. Let me just pull up this picture of this bear for you.
Okay.
Check out this fat bear, dude.
Is that like the number one right now?
I think so.
Yo,
yeah, this is Holly.
That's a big old bear.
So bears are getting ready to hibernate and survive off of their fat stores for the winter. You know what doesn't hibernate though? Squirrels. Continuing on.
Never wrote that down.
Yeah, no, it's just a week where this park in Alaska, they just take pictures of bears and people get to be like, who's the fattest bear? Or who's the cutest fat bear, I guess. Look at these chunk monsters.
Yo, when did bears get so big?
Bears have always been big, dude. Definitely don't want to hit a bear.
I didn't know this was a thing. Is this been a common thing?
This is the first I'm hearing of it. Okay. It's probably common in Alaska. I mean, it's not like
when you're that far from the continental United States,
you gotta find a way to have fun.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to connect with the rest of the country. I
think it's just great that they take just like one week out of the year just to do some social media promoting for the bears.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe a bad idea. Maybe just like, hey, look at all these cute bears. They should just take pictures of bears like demolishing animals. Be like, bears are dangerous.
Nobody has ever walked up to a bear and thought this is gonna be a good idea to pet it.
They have.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I would think that. My bad.
I mean, but dogs all come from wolves. Somebody had to pet it.
That's true.
There's a.
Do you think we are gonna domesticate bears and have like a different kind of like?
Some people domesticate bears.
Yeah, but I mean, like, a wolf still isn't domesticated.
Dangerous, because like, yeah, a wolf will kill you, right? But like, it's still smaller than you. It just seems like a bad idea to domesticate anything that could just kill you that easily.
Yeah, but what if we started like having like we bred bears?
Oh, what if we made them really tiny? We bred all the tiny bears together. It just got like teddy bears. That'd pretty much be a better cat.
Yeah, except I'm sure it would have like some terrible like qualities.
Yeah, so I read an article or a study or something that like you can kind of domesticate wolves like straight out of the wild or from birth out of the wild, but they lack the communication and understanding that our currently domesticated dogs have. So like you can teach a dog not to get up on the table and eat the food. You can never teach a wolf to do that. No matter how good you are. It just does not understand. Which is kind of cool. But there's another interesting fact. Sorry.
You're fine. Let's keep going.
There's a species of monkeys I want to say in India, but I honestly don't know.
Well, yeah, it's one of those Asian
Yeah,
places.
yeah. That is domesticating wolves. The monkeys are domesticating the wolves.
Oh, wait. Excuse me, sir?
So the way that
What is
humans
the classification of domestication here?
So the way that humans domesticated wolves is we were hanging out by the fire and the wolves would just kind of like come around and like, hang out and not attack us. And some humans would give wolves food. And the wolves would be like, "Okay, this is kind of a good relationship. If I don't kill them, they'll give me food." So it's kind of like a win-win. It's a whole lot less work. And that's kind of what these monkeys are doing. So that was step one. And then a whole lot of other stuff after that. These monkeys have successfully done step one.
They're feeding wolves to not kill them?
Something about the monkey's presence makes some sort of critter like okay, because the monkeys aren't going to eat them, and then the wolves hang out near the monkeys to eat that, whatever that thing is. Can't remember all the details, and I apologize. But the wolves don't eat the monkey babies, and the monkeys don't care about the wolves. So that is step one of domestication.
Dude, we're going to have monkeys.
It's a bit of a stretch, but...
Yeah, we'll give it to them, though.
I mean, can you imagine just an army full of monkeys riding on wolf backs?
It would be terrifying.
Yeah, that's like some shit straight out of Lord of the Rings.
I was going to go with Planet of the Apes, but yeah, let's go with that one.
Either one.
So, I haven't seen you for 2 weeks now, my man.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Good.
Life going well?
Life's going well. Doing an excellent job at work. Having a good time still.
Have you done anything fun in the last 2 weeks?
I mean, nothing major, really.
Nothing minor?
Nothing really that minor either. just been like making progress towards all kinds of stuff, getting the house like really spick and span, in order, clean, everything straight, and getting to stay that way.
Doesn't it feel nice when everything kind of just goes into place finally?
Yeah. And then the fence is the other thing. So last weekend, God, man, this fence has kicked my ass.
Yeah, it's definitely put a beating on us, and especially you.
It's really just how hard the ground is. And
you keep harping on it, man.
But I like tell people, I'm like, yeah, the ground is really, 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 really hard. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. They come over and they like try and dig for like a second. They're like, wow, this ground is hard.
I mean, it's basically cement that this place is built on.
Yeah, I mean,
it is built on cement, but
yeah,
like,
that's true.
Beneath the cement is other natural cement.
So, like, to give an example, I dug part of a hole earlier this week, and I filled it 100% of the way with water, and that water was still there today, about a week later.
That's nutso.
That's how hard that soil is.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Doesn't drain at all. It's crazy, but so, I mean, last weekend, my brother and I put together the first section of fence. We, like, set the posts in concrete, put together everything in between them, so it was just like this nice single section of fence. And from that, I realized that all of the holes that I had already dug were wrong.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember you telling me this.
Yeah,
I was enjoying my weekend while when you sent me that text, man. I literally laughed out loud, but also I continued to giggle about it up until this week because I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, the fence dimensions that were online weren't maybe not. I don't know what they were measuring from. No matter what I measured from, I couldn't get the measurements that they said that it was. So, and I was going based off that. I mean, it's obviously my fault. I should have done a test fit and been like, how far apart do these posts need to be? So I ended up having to redig almost all of the 17 holes, and I just did them all by hand. And
out of pure anger,
pure rage digs a lot better than an auger.
I mean, you made way more progress than we did in the 2 weeks we had an auger.
I spent like all last weekend and several days this week after work digging those holes.
That would explain why I didn't see you much on Discord.
I was dog tired after just slamming that post hole digger into the ground and picking it back up. Because I mean, it's like I think I was telling somebody this. It's like maybe 30 swings will get me an inch. And when I say 30 swings, I mean like full body, as high as I can raise it, all the way down into the hole.
Is this how you're concussed?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm probably not actually concussed. I just have a bit of a headache.
Fair enough. So are you busy building the fence? I was enjoying my weekend out in great outdoors of West Virginia. Wild and wonderful.
Wild and wonderful West Virginia.
And when I say that, actually, I spent part of the time in West Virginia and then the other part of the time in Western Maryland.
Yeah, because Swallow Falls is
in Western Maryland. Yeah.
Yep.
So I had a lady with me, and we decided that we were going to spend the weekend hiking, which when I first suggested it, I didn't expect her to take it up, but she was totally down for it. So we went hiking, and it was a freaking blast, man. I forgot how much I missed being outside and just having fun and not being outside and doing manual labor. Like, I thought I hated being outside, but I just hated being outside and working.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we went to Swallow Falls, and I went there growing up my whole life. So I know the area really well, and it was still just as much fun as it was when I was little. But God, is it not as big as I thought it was. Like, I thought for sure those falls were like 150 feet. They might be 60.
Nice.
And also, like, what made it so much fun was we didn't stay on the trail. I find trail hiking relatively boring because you're just walking and you're getting tired, and you're not like doing anything exciting. Like, you're not like taking any risks. So what we did was we went out onto the river of the Allegheny and just went like rock hopping across the river the whole time. I think we went like 2.5 miles up the river and back just on the rocks.
Nice.
And it was super, super fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It was.
Do you have to take risks to have fun though, Zach?
For me, yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Keep that in my back pocket.
I know it doesn't go along with my usual sense of like, if you have to do work to do it, it's not any fun. Because there was no engine involved. There was no going like racing or.
Right.
But I truly had a fantastic time this weekend.
So did you stay out did you go camping or did you just drive back to?
We stayed in Morgantown. So we went to Swallow Falls on Sunday, but on Saturday we were trying to find a place to hike that wasn't Cooper's Rock, because when you go out to school in West Virginia, where I went, Cooper's Rock was like the place to go and do like that cliche coupley Instagram post. And I didn't want any part of that.
Okay, fair point.
So we didn't go to Cooper's Rock, even though she was like, oh, I found us a place that isn't Cooper's Rock. And we went, and it was fucking Cooper's Rock. And so I was like, I'm not hiking. Like, we're not getting out of the vehicle. Find another place. And so I drove like 10 minutes, a couple miles away to a different spot, and we hiked there.
I found a place to hike that's not Cooper's Rock. Turns out it's Rocks Cooper.
It was like a trail at Cooper's Rock State Park.
Okay.
And I didn't want to be at Cooper's Rock State Park because I didn't want to post anything. I didn't want to tell anybody that I went to Cooper's Rock because it's like, oh, you guys are so cute. Like, get out of my life.
Get out of my face.
But I did have a fantastic weekend last weekend, but the weekend before that, I think I had one of the worst weekends I've ever experienced.
You were sick and doing manual labor?
I was sick and doing manual labor.
Yep.
I was rocking a fever like 102, and I installed my parents' pool cover.
Mm-hmm.
That was miserable. Like, I was super cold like when I got there, but after like 5 seconds of work, like of moving, I felt like my skin was melting because I was just so unbelievably hot. Because I'm just that hot.
Did you have some sort of like diagnosable illness?
Probably.
Or just cold?
I probably had some kind of virus that could have been diagnosed.
Okay.
I probably had the flu.
That seemed pretty mild for the flu, though.
Not to me, it didn't. That's the most sick I've been in a couple years.
Okay, well, it was really mild to me. I felt no discomfort, no pain, no symptoms whatsoever.
And I wanted to bring it up because what is the worst part about being sick?
Not being able to breathe.
That's like, you find like having your nose stuffed like the worst part.
Yeah.
I find having a sore throat to be the absolute agony of life. Because you can't like you don't notice that you swallow
all the time,
every couple seconds or every couple minutes, whoever you are, I don't know. But like when
how much saliva are you producing, Zachary?
I'm a spitty boy, man. So with a sore throat, I was just like, all I could think about was I have to swallow the spit in my mouth because I can't just keep spitting everywhere. Like that's just not a good. That's not a good solution to my problem. So
Right.
like just every time I swallowed anything I ate, anything I drank, I couldn't drink anything that had sugar in it because it made my throat just burn.
Yeah, or probably not anything carbonated or
Yep.
anything acidic.
So and water was also not like a no-go for me. Like
Right.
the only thing I could drink was milk, and since I'm lactose intolerant, it had to be lactose-free milk, but that wasn't always available.
Does that taste any different?
It's just a little sweeter.
Okay.
I think that's because it has the enzymes in it that already break down the sugar, which allow you to drink it.
Okay. Gotcha.
I could be wrong on that. That's the only thing I've noticed. But so I was just drinking. I think I drank like a gallon and a half of milk because that was the only
Nice.
thing I could just sip on.
You know, milk is acidic.
I did, but for some reason it doesn't burn.
I don't know. There are probably properties that, because I mean that's what they tell you to drink after you eat the hot pepper at your plate that you're not supposed to eat. Those hot peppers, Zach.
Yeah, those sucked.
They're like drink milk. Except for that one dude at the Mexican restaurant. The one time you ate the pepper and the waiter walked over and said, "Oh man, you don't eat those hot peppers."
No, that's a good accent.
He gave you like a lime.
Yeah, he gave me a bunch of lime slices.
That I can't imagine that helping.
It did.
I mean, that's so crazy.
I mean, hey, when you eat spicy food, you got to know how to fix spicy food.
Yeah, if it works, it works, I guess.
Yeah, so 2 weekends ago, I think that's why we didn't record.
Yeah.
I was here, but I was feeling so bad that I didn't even want to be a part of a podcast. I didn't want to talk for that long.
Yeah.
So I apologize to everyone for that, but my illness comes first because I'm a selfish person. And I'm not done complaining.
Oh, more.
There's just a little more. You'll actually be able to relate to this one.
Yep.
So Tuesday, I pulled my phone out of my pocket when I got home from work, and the screen didn't respond. Like you couldn't open it, you couldn't unlock it, you couldn't answer a phone call. You couldn't even work with Siri because since you couldn't unlock your phone, she wouldn't do anything for you. So I couldn't have her read my messages.
The Face ID wasn't working?
No, I mean it was just completely unresponsive. Like it would unlock, but since it couldn't open, since I couldn't open the phone, it was like, nah, you can't do anything.
Oh, well, that's useless.
Yeah, so that sucked, and so I need a working phone. I've got people who I'd like them to be able to contact me whenever they need to, like my parents, you, a few other people, those kind of important people. In your life.
Gotcha.
Or work. And so I had to switch the SIM card out of my non-working iPhone 10 into a crappy, broken up iPhone 6.
Hey man, that phone's only 5 years old at this point.
Is it?
It's only 5 years old.
God, that thing felt like a freaking dinosaur in my hand.
Yeah, I got mine in I think it was 2014. Yeah.
So I switched the SIM cards at 5:30 because I remember getting off my computer because I was like, I need to take care of this because I need a phone. So I switched the SIM cards. The iPhone 6 wouldn't turn on because it hadn't been charged in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just sitting on a charger, and at 11 o'clock it turned on.
Wow, I'm surprised it turned on at all.
So was I, but I was happy it turned on. And then it wouldn't boot all the way up. It would turn on and then immediately turn off and said it had no power. So that went on, and it was about 12 o'clock when it turned on and stayed on. And then for some reason, my brother, it was his phone. He was like, yeah, it's cleared out. It's, you can just pop your SIM card in, start it up, put your, Apple ID in, you're good to go. That iPhone locked me out because it hadn't, I didn't notice at the time, but it hadn't been removed from Find My iPhone. So when it turned back on, it was acting like it was stolen and wouldn't let you get anywhere. And it locked me out of my Apple ID because of it.
Nice.
So I, contacted Apple, through my computer because I don't have a working phone right now. And they're like, you need to verify it's your phone. We need you to pull up for your iPhone 10, just to verify it's you. You need to pull up its serial number and whatever. And I was like, how do I do that? And they're like, go into your settings on your phone. You can pull up the information.
I can't get into it.
I was like, I can't get in the iPhone 10. I need this iPhone 6 to turn on. And then they're like, well, you can do that with the iPhone 6. I still can't get into that because it's locked me out. So we went back and forth, and they're like, okay, we're going to give you a phone call. They call me.
Can't pick up.
Can't pick up. I mean, the iPhone 10 doesn't even have the SIM card in it, but the iPhone 6 won't work, so it doesn't
Right.
receive the call.
Yeah.
So now they're like, well, we didn't get a call. We'll send you a text with a code.
Still can't. Not
Stop
gonna
it.
help.
And they're like, well, we see you have a MacBook that we'll send the code there and you can get it off there. And that's when I contacted you. And I was like, hey, man, are you still up? Because I need you to go look at my computer and give me that code.
Yep. Because
But-
that's here in the podcast
Yeah,
studio.
it's here at the podcast studio. So I was locked out. And then, I gave up with Apple. I said, I'm done with this. I guess I just won't have a phone. And then I went to... I went to delete.
I guess I quit.
I went to delete my iPhone 10 off, find my iPhone, because I know that's what I need to do when I take it into the store to get it fixed, if they'll fix it for me. And I see at the very bottom, like, I've got all these devices on it because, I've got a family sharing plan. So everyone in my family and a couple friends that are on it, I see all their devices. And then at the very, very bottom is that iPhone 6 that James said he had deleted years ago.
Oh,
So as soon as I deleted it, it turned on, booted up, we were good to go.
nice.
So I had that, and I went to Apple, and I don't think anyone enjoys going to the Apple store to get your phone worked on.
I don't enjoy going to the Apple Store at all, so I don't.
Yeah. So
After
I had to take a day off because
Oh, that hurts.
since I couldn't make an appointment because I couldn't verify. Since when I originally had tried, I couldn't verify that it was my phone that I wanted to get worked on. So there were no open appointments like later in the day. They're like, you just have to walk in. So I was like, I don't want to walk in at 4:00 when I could get there. And they
be there
close.
for hours.
Or no, they close early.
What time did they close?
I think 6.
That's early.
It was like a standalone. I think it was in a mall.
Okay.
So the mall closed early, and I was like, if
I
they don't
gotcha.
get to me, I've just wasted all my time. So I was like, I'm just gonna take the day. And I'm going to go into the store and just stand there all day until I can get it worked on. I was in there for 20 minutes. The dude was like, this is a manufacturer issue that has been reported from a lot of iPhone 10s. So we're going to fix it for free. If that doesn't work, we'll replace your whole phone for free.
Nice.
And so I got everything fixed for free, and it took me about 3 hours. So
Not bad.
that was good for Apple,
Not
but the whole
bad.
their verification system needs to work. Like, needs to work for people who have, like, your devices are actually locked out. Like, just send an email. Why can't you just send an email to me and I can verify it from there? Why does it have to be a device?
Different kind of verification.
Yeah.
Because in order to have two-factor authentication, you have things that you are. So like a fingerprint, something that you know, like a password, or something that you have, like a device, needs to be 2 out of those 3.
Yeah.
So they can't scan your retinas from the iPhone store.
But still, that two-factor really, really irritated me because I was up till 2:30 in the morning. When I get up at 4:30 in the morning, I got 2 hours of sleep, and then back-to-back nights of less than 3 hours of sleep.
Brutal.
It was miserable.
I would have just bought a new phone.
If they hadn't fixed it for free, if they're like, we're gonna like charge you for this, I'd have just been like, you know what, give me the phone back. I'll figure out a way to get the information off it I need, and then I'm switching off of Apple. I'm never coming back.
Do you still feel like you're going to switch off of Apple?
I will after this phone kicks it for once and for all. I'll switch off Apple. I'm done with it.
You're going to turn everybody's text to green?
Oh, I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the guy in the group message that's like, I don't get group messages, guys.
Yeah, it's really annoying. The most annoying thing about not having an Apple phone is like, well, okay, I do miss iMessage, but that's it. And the only person I text is Casey, really. That's it. Like, occasionally I'll text you or somebody else, but it's never full on conversation. But the only annoying thing is when you're in a group message with a bunch of people, and you know how in the Apple phone you can like somebody's message.
You can react to the message.
You could react.
You get
to
a
the
second
message.
text for it.
I
don't
get
you?
a second text, and it's like, if somebody sends a paragraph and somebody in person B likes that paragraph or something, I get a full text that says person B liked, quote, entire message. So it's like wonderful. When family members are like sick or in the hospital or something, and we get a full status update on them, like full paragraph status update on them, and everyone goes and reacts to that message, I just get that message 15 times.
So I was operating the iOS 9 on the
That's
iPhone
old.
6, and when someone would react to one of my messages, it would also just resend it to me. Like I get my own message back because that I don't know when that came into effect, the reactions.
It must have been after that. Yeah.
It's not iOS 9.
Yeah.
Oh, one last thing.
Man, this is just
going.
Zach.
It's going.
Ooh.
So it's about iOS 9. I didn't realize how important keeping your like stuff up to date because like app publishers.
Sure.
No, what's the
Developers.
word? Developers. Sorry. So app developers don't keep their apps up to date for older OS like operating systems.
Right.
So the reason I had to go get this phone fixed, or I needed to go buy a new one because the iPhone 6 wasn't working well enough, because all of the apps that I use, like my banking app, my credit card app, Venmo, and a couple other apps, none of them are able to work on iOS 9.
Yep.
And if I was to update that 6 to iOS 12, that thing would die in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah.
That battery lasted for 6 hours as it was, but it would kick it.
Really?
Yeah, it's trash.
No, that's pretty good for a 5-year-old phone. Then
I think it's
if he only used it for 2 years, then it's not that good. But that's better than I was expecting. I was expecting like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you brought that up, and I was like, you're right. Apple sucks.
Yeah, they do. They've got everyone hook, line, and sinker, and they just built this walled garden of just all the iMessage Apple exclusive things. iMessage and iPhoto, and I don't know. There's probably other stuff. I just don't care.
They do what they do, though. They do a good job at it.
Typically.
And it's very user friendly, but it's not very customizable. So enough about us. Well, me again.
That was mostly about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I only have one thing to complain about, and I'll just have one thing to complain about. Well, okay, 2.
Oh, it adds on when you start thinking about it.
Just the fence thing. That was like, I mean, holy cow, did I do a lot of digging. I mean, we're talking hours and hours and hours here of digging holes. But
my heart bleeds for you, my man.
I don't know if that's sarcastic, but I appreciate it. I'm just going to pretend like it was real. I got all those freaking holes dug, and we're more than halfway down the fence now. So out of bad came a lot of good, and it's really just digging the holes is the only hard part. That's the only hard part.
Yeah, I mean the fence posts are going in as easy as you like. I don't know how the first ones went for you guys, but today
it was just a little bit of figuring stuff out, trying to make decisions, trying to think ahead.
Gotcha.
That's all it was. I mean, we weren't as efficient as we could be. We went slow and steady wins the race, sort of.
And then putting the fence itself together is like Legos for adults.
Yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, no, it's that's pretty good.
What was the second thing?
The other thing was there's just this guy at my work that he turns every single meeting from a 20-minute ordeal to a 2-hour ordeal because he's just bitching about shit that nobody cares about. And what it comes down to is he is just a true and complete bureaucrat. He just cares about paper trails. That is it.
Oh my god.
He's just searching through document after document after document, trying to prove to I don't know who, trying to prove to somebody that somebody's doing something fishy. Meanwhile, he's just a paranoid old kook. And it just is infuriating because now I'm at the point like where I don't know how much I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, I guess. It's because I really want to get these things done in a timely manner, and I'm running into obstacles at work. And when I have to sit in a stupid meeting that was a 5-minute meeting for an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is, like the full length of the meeting, it just really irritates me. It really irritates me. It's like, he's got to go, man. He's literally doing negative work.
It reminds me of the episode from The Office where Jim spends his whole day calculating how much stolen time Dwight has from the company and he gets nothing done. Yeah. Like, that's what this reminds me of. This guy's so busy trying to find out what other people are doing wrong, he's not being productive.
Exactly. That is absolutely correct. It makes me want to drink Scotch and Splenda. Tastes like Splenda, gets you drunk like Scotch.
Speaking of The Office, let's move straight into the news here. Not news. Articles that we want to talk about. The stuff.
The meat.
The source.
If you will. Let's bare meat of the podcast.
Ooh, I like that. Let's get it.
Should we
So
though?
apparently Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey
Yeah.
are doing a podcast about The Office.
Which is Pam and Angela. It always weirds me out when the actors have the same name as the characters.
Why?
I don't know.
It seems like it'd be really easy to act with them then, because you don't have to think about their actor name.
Their actor name.
You can just hit them with their real name.
I don't know. It'd just be weird because when you think about, like, okay, I guess it's probably not that weird. But actors, when they talk about their character, they always
Third person it?
Yeah. It's never I have to feel this way or I'm supposed to look this way. It's this character is doing this and I'm just portraying them. They really try and separate themselves from the character.
Well,
Otherwise
yeah.
they end up killing themselves like Heath Ledger.
I was just
R.I.P.
about to make that comparison.
But when you have the same name as the character, I feel like it makes it that much harder. I don't know.
So what are they talking about? Is it just are they just doing like a reunion for The Office?
So I think it's just them. It's called Office Ladies. But it breaks down an episode of the show. Breaks down episodes of the show, and revealing behind the scenes stories. And apparently, it's the ultimate podcast for nostalgia fans.
Oh, it's gonna sell so hard.
I know.
Nostalgia is in currently.
Nostalgia's always in.
I mean, I feel like it's made a huge move in the last like 4 years.
I agree.
Where we're getting hit with, our childhood movies, and other people coming back to the forefront because
Remember Star Wars? Remember the Goonies? I don't know if you watched South Park. That was absolutely a South Park reference. Member berries.
So I just think that nostalgia is selling. I mean, it usually does, but I feel like our generation is getting targeted really hard with the nostalgia factor.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
Because we're suckers.
Well, do you think it's our generation or the people who are just slightly older than us? Like the 30 to 40s?
I think it's our generation.
You think so?
Because
but can you have nostalgia for something that you weren't there for?
But The Office is definitely something that we were there for, and all the kids movies that are, live action now.
Jungle Book is the one that comes to mind. Yeah, that was
The Lion King.
The Lion King. Yep, that's our generation.
That's just us.
Right. It's like they just waited until we were old enough to have jobs,
and sucker us
just sucker them back in.
We got your parents' money, and now we're getting yours.
Star Wars.
Yeah,
a bit, because the 1, 2, and 3, which I don't know,
the first, second, and third premiered Star Wars are actually 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, the first, second, and third in the series.
Yeah.
As far as the storyline goes, they came out when we were kids.
Right.
And I really enjoyed the first movie. The number 1, Phantom Menace. God, this is starting to get complicated. Why did they do 4, 5, and 6 first?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you? But I enjoyed that. And so I went to go see the Star Wars Return of the Sith Jedi Skywalker, whatever it was.
Yeah, it wasn't any good.
It wasn't any good. That was the ultimate nostalgia.
Yeah, when the credits started, what is that called? When it's coming down on the screen.
I don't know what it's called.
Whoever. I'm sure someone will correct me and tell me that I'm an idiot. Tell me I'm an idiot. But like when that music starts and the yellow letters start scrolling down, you're like, yeah, this is it, boys. And then the movie just robbed me of my life.
I will say I do kind of love, because if you remember the old Star Wars, they had like PowerPoint transitions from scene to scene. Like sometimes it would just like cut over from right to left. Other times it would like just fade transition. And
oh yeah,
I just love that they kept that in the newer Star Wars movies. Just those awkward, terrible like 70s, 80s sci-fi movie transitions. I did like that. I did like that.
I didn't notice it until you pointed it out, but now I can think about all of it where it's just like swipes over and you're like,
yeah,
that's a terrible transition.
It's so bad. Oh, there was one amazing transition in what's the most recent Star Wars movie in the collection? It would be number 8. Do you remember what it's called?
The Last Jedi?
Yeah. There was an incredible transition in that where you see this giant triangular ship coming down, and it's about to land, and all the steam starts coming out of the bottom, and they zoom out, and it's an iron. That absolutely got me. That killed me. And the rest of the movie sucked. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Last Jedi is by far the worst of the Star Wars series.
I haven't seen most of the rest of them in so long that
I don't
know
include
if I can really...
I don't include Solo in that because that's also a terrible movie.
I've heard that's really bad.
But it doesn't go in the series. It's just a side story. If I was to give it a rating overall, I'd give it about a 2%. Because the credits, the Star Wars, you hear Star Wars, the music, and that gives it a 2%.
Yeah.
The rest of it is hot.
Do you remember the composer for Star Wars?
Lucas?
George Lucas.
It's the director.
Is the director.
But stop. I don't know who it is.
John Williams.
I did know that.
Almost every single... We talked about this not too
Yeah.
long ago. Almost every single really good movie soundtrack is John Williams.
He is the highest earning musician of all time, right?
I don't know if that's true.
I feel like
if you say so, then sure.
I mean, he's got all the movies that he's done, and he's also he does an orchestra, doesn't he?
I would imagine.
So he's got whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that makes bank.
Yes, John Williams. It's just crazy if you go and look him up and you're like, I've seen that movie. I remember that theme song. I remember that. I remember it's like just down the list. Like,
yeah, he does a good job.
Yeah.
We'll give it to him.
That's why they pay him the big bucks. Man, we are just straight ripping from a couple South Park episodes of the last season. We're just pulling it right out of there.
Are we?
Yeah, they get, I'm pretty sure they get John Williams to redo the national anthem.
But speaking of successful artists, man, you just played a song for me that I didn't know I knew, but it's by Y2K and Baby No Money,
which is BBNO $.
Yeah.
Because why not, I guess.
But it's the song La La La.
Sha Sha Sha.
And they revealed how they marketed that song.
Because what was interesting to me, I heard the song, it was on like top 50 Spotify. I was like, man, I actually kind of really like this song, even though it's kind of dumb. It's really catchy. Yes. And I went to go look up these artists, and they're in almost nothing. Neither one of them has like an actual album out. They're just in random songs here and there. It's like, well, okay, how'd this song get so big? So I looked it up, and I found this article. I actually accidentally searched this article out. They did a lot of promotion on TikTok and
Tinder. Yo, what a move.
Yeah. They just got a bunch of people hyped up about La La La, and they had people like spray painting their cars. They tried like the most unconventional marketing methods ever.
Yeah, so they were saying that they had friends who had a larger following on TikTok, and they threw them lines of the song to use in their TikTok. So people had heard La 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 before the song was ever released.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So that was how they used TikTok, but how they used Tinder is like the most obnoxious marketing strategy I've ever heard of. It's like how when you're on, I don't know, were you ever on Tinder?
No.
So I had a Tinder because I'm that cool of a guy. But like you can always tell who the bot was because they have like one photo, and if you matched with them or you accidentally swiped right, they would immediately message you, and it would be like, pay for inappropriate things.
Yeah.
And so, or they would just be like, it'd be like, what's up, baby? And as soon as you message them back, they're going to hit you with a link. Yep. Like, it's just how it goes.
Yep.
And so what they did was they bought Tinder Premium, which I believe gives you unlimited swipes, crap ton of super likes, which increases your chances of being a match. And they messaged the song to all of their matches.
Did they message them the song?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they just messaged them La 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 as in LA. I must have misread that.
You didn't just say La 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 and then nothing else.
Yeah, so they just spammed everybody.
And the way Tinder Premium works is you can go to a city through your phone. You can match with people in like Chicago, and you could be sitting here in Calvert County.
Wow.
So they were just searching out throughout every city, every major city, and just matching with everybody they could there, and then spamming them with the song.
I think that's like ingenious.
I
think they did a really good job.
I think it's bloody freaking brilliant, but God, that's obnoxious.
It's got to be so annoying. They did a good job. They did a good job though, and I think that song deserves to be where it was. I think it's still probably in the top 50 in the U.S. because I mean it's awfully catchy.
It is. It's amazing how simple it is, but it's got a real catchy chorus, man.
That also helps the simplicity because people like something they can remember the lyrics to,
or at least
and the chorus
attempt to remember.
The chorus of this song rhymes la 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 with sha sha sha.
It's almost like a Chief Keef song.
It's pretty hard to forget.
I want to ask you a question here that's specific to remembering words of songs.
Sure.
When a song is playing in the car that you really like, do you turn the volume up so people don't know you're not singing the actual words? Or do you just sing the actual words and, like, if you don't know the line, you stop singing it?
It depends on who I'm with. But I always turn up the volume.
I noticed that the past couple weeks that, like, if I really like a song, I'll turn the volume up and then I sing along to it, and I realize I don't know half the freaking words, or I thought I knew the words.
Just doing your best.
Or if, like, it's a rap song, like trying to keep up with the rap.
Yeah.
But, like, my lips move at like 2 words a second.
You don't have those fast twitch.
No, I don't got the spitters to get that done.
Nowadays, you can be a very successful rap artist by just mumbling.
You're right. I never thought about that.
Yeah, you can do that.
But also, do you stop singing when the song, like, let's say, like, you get a text and it cuts out the song in midway? Do you you get caught, or do you just stop?
No, stop.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
I always get caught. And it's like, it's just like this tone deaf seal out of the water dying. Terrible. It's not even on key. It's not even in the same octave.
Not like the right words.
Not even close.
Nice. You know what else is nice?
What's also nice?
Somebody solved a decades-old missing persons case using Google Earth.
So was this someone, it was their job to search through Google Earth?
No, this was just a dude.
So he just saw a car.
This guy was looking at his house on Google Maps or Google Earth or whatever it is. And he looked in the, I guess I'd call it a pond. Yeah, let's call it a pond. He looked at the pond behind his house and he was like, that looks like a car. And it was. And this guy, last name Molt, first name William, in Wellington, Florida. He was not doing so Wellington because he drove his car into a pond and died in the car.
How many? It was 22 years ago?
22 years ago.
That's not so, man.
Yeah.
See, I thought this was someone who's just like, either their job was to look through Google Images and, just use satellite imaging to, I don't know, see property lines or something, or his job involves looking at the pictures of houses and whatnot. Or it's just someone being interested in, like, there's people who, like, try to go through Google Images and find, like, wacky things that it's captured.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a photo out there, not a photo, but, like, on Google Images, one of the satellites, there's a guy, and it looks like he's dumping a body into a lake.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I'm not sure what it is.
I saw another one that looked like, it might be the same picture, but it looks like there's blood all over the pier.
Yeah, and it's like he's, like, dragging something.
Yeah.
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 That's what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
There's also, like, there's other ones, but I felt like it was, like, someone who's just, like, in their meantime, or obviously...
In their meantime.
What is that?
In the meantime, or in their free time.
Thank you.
In their meantime.
Damn,
Shut up, this is my mean hour.
In their free time, they're just checking... It makes a little more sense that he found it looking at his own house.
Yeah, because you've looked at your house on Google Maps for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no bodies in the water.
Yeah, no. Nothing interesting, but I mean, I've always just been to be like, I wonder when this picture was taken. Trying to figure out, time of day based on the sun and what cars are there. Because sometimes the pictures are like really, really old.
It's no longer there, but because it was recently updated, but like our trooper was still in the driveway in the last Google Images, which was 10 years ago.
Long time ago.
10 years ago at least or more.
Wow. Before long, Google Images will see a fence in my backyard.
It won't be there for a long time. The next time they take a picture of your photo, it'll be like when you're moving.
Well, fence is going up either way. That's the important thing.
But it's cool. He solved a missing persons case.
This is just so random.
I mean, but like he's not me. I find dead bodies just while running in the woods.
That's true. You did find a dead body while running in the woods.
That's the story for another day.
And on that note, I think it's time to end. I'm really looking forward to these next couple of months in TV shows.
Yeah, there's some great TV shows going out, but we're not going to talk about
We're
it.
not going to talk about them.
See you next time, guys.
Which will be in 2 weeks, probably.
Yep. Most likely.
Yep. Maybe the fence will be done by then.
It will be.
Yep. All right. I'm signing off.
This is the captain. Goodbye.